Hey guys, hope all is well. Got my throw out. It is a chilly day here in Atlanta, but I thought it was a great opportunity to jump on here and do some more educational videos for you. We look at our insights, see what's hitting. Our growth is just tremendous. You guys are amazing, spreading the word about Great Homes ATL. Your love and support for Kurt and myself has been amazing. So I just want to continue to put out this education for you guys. We have a lot of new followers, so I'll do a whole video on where you could find a lot of this information because I'm sure not everybody is as technologically savvy as the next person. So I want to do that for you. But in this video, what I want to talk about is a great response that we got was when I started breaking down payment, closing costs, and I'll get into the mortgage, monthly payment breakdown. But I really want to, use an analogy. When I'm taping this, it's football, NFL playoff season, college football playoff season. So a football analogy, right? In order to buy a house, that ball has to go through the goalpost, right? Before you get to the goalpost, right? That foot has to hit that ball, kicking a field goal. And before you even go through your pre-approval, you have to say, is it even worth me kicking this ball at this point? Meaning, do I even have enough saved to start the process? I could afford $1,500, $2,500 a month for my mortgage, but it does me no good if I don't have the funds to actually close on that house. That's you can't have a monthly payment without buying the house, and you need to buy the house by having some skin in the game, which is your down payment and your closing costs. Now, this video is not for people for down payment assistance. This is not for people that are looking for no money down. There's going to be programs for certain people, but 90 to 95% of our clients have some skin in the game. A majority of our clients are not going to have 20% to put down on a home. That is the benchmark when it comes to qualifying for a mortgage. If you could put 20% down, in the eyes of a lender, you are golden. You have done everything right. You've saved up enough money. Of course, your credit will still mean something, but in order to save 20% of 300,000, 400,000, 800,000, whatever your price point is, you have been an amazing saver of money. 90 to 95%, especially of our clientele. We do have celebrities and pro athletes and lawyers and doctors and all that kind of stuff. But the heart of our business is the first time home buyer, second time home buyer. And most of them have not accumulated 20% down. So I want to walk you through before you could even get that ball heading towards the goalpost. Going through the goalpost means you closed on the home. As it's making its way to the goalpost, that's when you're pre-approval, searching for homes. You're almost there, writing that contract, all that. You're starting that trajectory down through the goalpost. But unless you start when that foot hits the ball, you have to know if you should even start the process. And we're getting a lot of emails, DMs, people not knowing where to find our information. So I'm hoping this video speaks to you. So let's just break down 3 loan programs, the most that people utilize as first time and second time home buyers. Number 1, FHA, Federal Housing Administration. That is a mortgage with this type of stipulation. In general, there's going to be lenders that say I could do it at 580 credit score, 600, 620. A really good mortgage lender and bank is going to, with a lot less issues, because nobody wants a stressful mortgage process. I would say 640 or higher. Most cases 640 to 679. It could be higher than 679 for FHA as well, and I'll get into that in a second. But in general, you should shoot for 640 or higher middle score of the 3 credit bureaus. Your debt ratios, this is also what's important, has to be usually about 54% or less. I'm not going to be able to calculate that for you. Only a mortgage lender can. But in general rules, if you have high, just to say high, whatever that number is, because it's going to be based on your income, high student loan debt, high car notes, high credit card debt, there's a good chance you're not going to be able to qualify. If you do qualify, you're probably looking at FHA because your debt ratios are probably in that 46, 47, 50, 54% range, right? So this is speaking to you. This is an FHA mortgage. You might have seen me break it down in other posts, but watch this video, take out your notepad, and do the calculation yourself. Then we're going to go off a basic average home price that we sell. We sell to people that buy a $175,000 house, and we sell to people that buy for multi-million dollars. But let's just say on average, the average person that has been hitting us up is looking about $350. You'll multiply 350 times 0.035. You don't have to be a mathematician. You don't need to be like algebra and chemistry and all these crazy calculations. How do we calculate 3.5%? Basic math, 0.035. So you take 350,000 times 0.035. Off the bat, do you have that money? Do you have close to that money? If your number's 250, if your number's 200, if your number is 450, 0.035. I am not anywhere. I have $1,000 to my name. You can't even kick that ball. You are, I'm almost there, but I'm about a couple $1,000s short. Maybe I need to start saving more and before I hit up Mark and Kurt for that lender referral. Or let me talk to a family member to see, are they willing to help out at all? What can they do? Multiple family members, can they help gift me those funds? But that's not it. If you've looked at those other slides that I've done, it's not just about that down payment. You have to look at closing costs. Closing costs involve your escrows. Also, escrows are your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance. You take those numbers that I gave you on those slides. 0.0125 estimate for your property taxes. Homeowner's insurance is going to fluctuate. It's going to depend on the size of the house, the crime in the area, all that kind of stuff. But use 1,000 as a base point. It could be 1,700, it could be 600, it could be 1,200, but use 1,000 as a base point. Then you're also going to be looking at your closing costs, which are your attorney fees, your lender fees, and all that. I always go say by worst case scenario, 0.035. It could be at 0.025. It could be at 0.03. But I'm a big believer in always looking at the worst case scenario. So you'll take those numbers. You'll take 0.035 times 350,000. You'll take 350,000 times 0.035 for your closing costs. We'll get into in another video the property taxes and all that. But for your escrows and for your closing costs, we're going to calculate 0.035. 0.035, 0.035, that's really 7%. So you're really looking at 350,000 times 7%. Look at that number. That's the reality of the situation. There's no way around it. If you're starting to talk about, I need down payment assistance, all that kind of stuff, not saying it's not out there, but again, 90 to 95% of our clientele is going to have some skin in the game. And you want some equity in that house, right? You want to feel like I sacrificed and saved to buy this house. Again, if you are not anywhere close, your foot should not even touch that football. If you are very close and you might still need some help, some help from family members and stuff like that, this is the time to have that conversation with family members. If you are there and more, you have plenty, you're at that number or above, let's start doing that. DM us with your full name, phone number, and email to get that pre-approval going. Number 2, the conventional loan. Conventional loan has to have a credit score of 680 or higher. 740 or higher is always the highest. Doesn't matter if your credit score is 800, 825, or 741. You're going to get the same best credit score. Best interest rate. But just to qualify for conventional, 680 or higher. But the second half of that is your debt ratios. Your debt ratios have to be 45% or less. So again, I'm not going to be able to calculate that. Kurt's not going to be able to calculate that. The mortgage lender is. But when should you reach out to the mortgage lender? If you just know you are racked with credit card debt, you have high student loan payments, you have a very high car note, chances are you're not at that 45% or less. If you pay your credit cards off all the time, if you have very low student loans or paid off your student loans, if you have a reasonable car note in relation to what you make, your income, then there's a good chance you're going to qualify for that conventional mortgage. The basic tenet of a conventional mortgage is 3% down. If it's a higher price point, you might be looking at 5% or 10% down. But in general, again, 90 to 95% of our clients are going to be looking at 0.03. So you take your average, whatever your price point you're thinking, you're even considering, you're not going to know until you go through your pre-approval. But again, 350,000 times 0.03 as opposed to 0.035 for FHA. That saves you 0.5% by going conventional. Again, 3.5% for closing costs. So in total, 6.5%. Reality check, not anywhere near close. I got work to do. I'm very close. Let's start talking to some family members. I might need some help. Are you willing to help me out? Or I am good to go. I have definitely got this money, whatever the case may be. Finally, VA. All our veterans, we help dozens and dozens. We love our veterans. The absolute best mortgage program out there is for the veterans. Because of your years of service, because of whether you're active duty, you're retired, disabled, whatever the case may be, you deserve it. The country is going to reward you with what's called a VA loan. You're going to take your 350,000, 400,000, 450, 250, whatever your number is. Guess what? You're going to multiply that by 0.03. 0.00. I'm thinking about conventional. 0.00. What does that mean? No money down. Depending on your circumstances, if you are disabled, you might not even have to pay the closing costs. But again, in your worst case scenario, 0.035. And in some cases, they're going to allow you, some cases, if a house appraises at a certain amount, they might even let you roll that in there. And there's a good chance, being that it's a VA loan, you're going to get a nice lender's credit towards it. So I've seen a lot of my veterans get money back at the closing table, put down a couple $1,000s, or have nothing to, having to bring nothing to the closing table. So again, for VA, worst case scenario, 0.035, but chances are with a lender credit, your circumstances, you may not even have to bring that. You might even get money back. 0.035 FHA, 0.03 conventional, 0.00 VA. Closing costs, 0.035 worst case scenario. Please look back at this video. Please write these down, do these numbers, and make sure you're even in a position to start that football heading towards the goalpost. Okay, guys, next video, monthly payment breakdown.